Wow, the clap is very loud. I did it directly into my microphone.
That's where it's supposed to be. Good call.
Yeah.
Clap on, apply directly to the microphone.
There you go. Okay.
Oh no!
Sorry, no, are you okay?
Yeah, I dropped my vape.
Oh no.
Rip.
Big sad. No, it's okay. We're good.
Hello and welcome to the YASEcast. This is episode 7, lucky 7. I am, as always, Lamo, coming at you live from the base of Yase. With me today I have Jarvis, the
Hey,
Jarv
what's going on,
Dog.
everyone?
I have Morgan,
What's up?
Velius,
What's going on?
and Snooze himself.
Hello.
So, boy, last week was a lot of people kind of toning it down just a little bit. Actually, I think about it, it's the exact same amount of people. We're still doing 5. Yeah.
Same amount of people.
Let's bring this same energy, the same chaotic energy from last week, minus the BuzzFeed quizzes, out here into the new universe, the new millennium, if you will.
Did you say Mark of the Millennium?
Ooh, I
Mark
might.
of the Millennium.
Mark of the Millennium.
Oh my god! And it's like different incarnations of Will Smith, and it's a fighting game. Shh.
Oh my
Don't tell
god.
Capcom.
What would A Groove? Okay, instead of starting off with what's everyone doing, hey Jarv, what would A Groove Will Smith look like and play like?
Fresh Prince, and you know how Uncle Phil does the fucking Satsui no Hado? Like everyone
Yeah.
can do that, and definitely, and Will Smith and Fresh Prince groove can definitely do that. You
Okay,
can definitely do like the Satsui no Hado shit.
Morgan, what does C Groove Will Smith look like?
Seagroove is...
I don't know.
Wild
It
Wild
doesn't
West.
matter. It doesn't matter.
That's
I
Wild
don't
Wild
know.
West, Will Smith. And the
Okay.
spider is an assist call, like the Megazord in Power Rangers.
Okay,
Oh fuck!
I like it. I like it a lot. Velius, what's P Groove Will Smith look like?
P Groove Will Smith is Men in Black Will Smith, and his only real shtick is that he has the best super in the game because it's the cricket.
All right.
Yo,
All
he's
right.
like Phoenix Wright.
I like it. I like that shit a lot. That's a beam
Oh,
super
shit.
for sure. Snooze, I got a curveball for you.
Great.
What's K Groove Will Smith look like?
What one even is K Groove?
I think K Groove is the SNK
Oh, it's
one
the
where
Sam
it's
Sam
like
show.
yeah,
Sam
it's
show.
the Sam Show one. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, he's obviously got to be... What's that superhero movie that he's
Oh,
in?
Hancock.
Yeah, because he just...
Yeah,
he
Hancock
gets
Groove.
he gets meter at the end. He just hits you once and you fucking die.
Damn. Damn.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Oh. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening
But
to
the rest of
episode
the
7,
round is sad.
everybody.
We're done.
We're done. We can't top that.
Welcome to the Millennium.
Oh, welcome to the new millennium. Morgan, what's been going on? What you been up to? What you been playing?
Oh wow, that's a hard question.
Not
So,
not
like-
not all 3. You can do as much or
Oh
as
man,
little as
I
you
got
want.
I got talked into resubbing into Final Fantasy 14. So I finished.
Hell yeah, you
Yeah.
did! Woo!
This is what peer pressure sounds like. Just a bunch of people cheering for you.
The people who asked you to play again are like,
Yeah.
yeah, get on the podcast and tell everyone you're playing again.
I mean,
Peer pressure is me leaning back and drinking a Cherry Coke Zero, and then yelling.
It's,
But I'm always yelling, so
Yeah, it's fun. I think I picked up for a lot of the same reasons that basically everyone else talked about in the last episode of just like it's comfy. Unfortunately, like work has been really hard, so I have not had a lot of time to play in like the 1 week you get for if you have been previously subscribed. But I am probably gonna buy all the expansions and then kind of like casually work through it because I'm not gonna resub right away. I've got a work trip coming up, but yeah. But as far as like what's been like on my mind and stuff that I've been working through, my partner got me watching Deep Space Nine,
ooh,
Oh, good show.
which is a good show. And it's nice also watching it with somebody that will be like, no, we're going to skip this episode. This episode is bad. And it's like,
You
but the next
cannot.
one is really good. And I'm like, I'm glad I have like the tour guide for Deep Space Nine. And it's making me realize that, well, one, I really like Star Trek. Even though, like, I guess I've been, like, a fan of it, like, as a concept, but I don't think I've ever, like, sat down and watched it. And also, Deep Space Nine is, like, really gay. And
Yeah?
it's held back a little bit by being in the 90s, so like things are kind of like shown, but like no one talks about it. But there's like a lot of like interesting stuff. Like they had a whole episode, like we're still in the first season, where there's this race called the Trill that are a symbiote race, and then there's also the host. And one of the characters is the Trill, whose previous host body was a man and current host body is a woman, and then they're put up on trial and they're trying to like get keep the person from being extradited. And they're basically saying like, well, no, they can't be the same person because like this stuff has happened. And it gets like very like high concept sci-fi, but also like around like sexuality and gender, which rules, which is the opposite of the movie that I watched this weekend, Bit, which was advertised as being a intersectional, feminist, but also like explicitly very queer vampire movie. And I walked away. It was super hype. It was winning awards on the festival circuit. I saw it on Amazon Prime, and I was like, I need that, and I added it to my list, and I was really disappointed. And
Oh no.
it was definitely it's definitely a movie that was about lesbians that was written by a cis straight man.
Oh no.
Yeah,
you
who's
cannot.
It was trying very hard. Like, I'll give the guy credit, but it's like he's afraid. He's very in his lane, and he's like, I have to be aware of my lane. I'm a guest in this house, but the film suffers for it because it's like you don't want to leave your lane, but you also like are trying to make a queer movie, but you're just, it's at odds with itself.
Okay.
And it ends up not being great. So that was like a huge disappointment for me, actually, that I ended up writing a lot about on my blog because the day or so later I was like, I'm still frustrated with this movie. But
I love when you can like walk away from a movie and like write a lot about it. You know,
Yeah.
whether it's like happy or like frustrating or like, wow, you director really kind of missed the mark here, and like for shame. It leaves you like passionate for like good criticism.
it's like one thing I really loved was like, and I've gotten really into the horror genre in like the past year or two because of really two podcasts. One is Horror Queers, that is awesome, and I recommend. It's two gay dudes that talk about horror movies because it turns out the horror genre is like extremely subversive and like political and like very, it has a lot to say in a lot of ways, and like it's a lens that I never really thought about. And the other is Faculty of Horror, which is two women that take a historical feminist perspective, and they'll do like, hey, we're gonna have like we are both academics, and we're gonna take like 2 hours, and we are gonna talk about Rosemary's Baby, or we are gonna talk about Sleepaway Camp, or we are gonna talk about Nightmare on Elm Street 2, the gay one, and we're gonna talk about that for like long form, specifically the gay one, and it's like it's awesome, and like that's really opened up the genre for me. So when I saw Bit, and it's like, yo, trans character played by a trans actor in a movie about lesbian vampires, and I was like, this is my shit. I'm gonna love this movie. And I just walked away being like, kind of like Jarv was just saying, like, at first sort of like it was okay, and then I got like increasingly frustrated, but that's kind of cool because it gets you to really think about media and want to like talk about stuff more so. So
That
look forward
sounds
to
pretty
this.
fun. I mean, unfortunate that the movie kind of failed in some of the ways that you were hoping for it to succeed. But it is cool though when those kind of things lead to a better conversation about the media we consume, the perspective from which things are written, and what their shortcomings are.
Yeah, it was great. So look forward to our upcoming spin-off podcast, You Are Scared Endlessly, where we will talk about horror films.
Oh my god, can I tell you something, Morgan? I'm like super afraid of horror movies. I hate jump scares, and like I've been like traumatized from like a childhood of friends like trying to scare me with like jump scares, and all of us like trying to scare each other with screamers and shit, or like just being on Newgrounds at like 3 a.m. and like finding the wrong video and like being so afraid that you have to run up like from the basement all the way to your room and like jump under the covers and be like, no.
I'm gonna send Jarv a
That's
link
a real
after
thing.
the podcast. And
Oh
like,
my
hey, Jarv,
god!
check out this cool
Anyone
maze
sends
game
me a
I
screamer,
found.
I will shame you. Just straight up, just be like, this fool is an absolute dunce hat. Straight failure.
Absolute nonsense. Yo, but so I'm the same way. And I get like freaked out by movies that are not really that scary. And like even like the campy ones that are supposed to be like kind of funny can still like get me with jump scares. But getting
Jump
that
scares suck.
perspective, they suck.
Like,
but
no one wants to be, because it's not scary. It's just, well, it's not that it's scary. It's just like,
surprising.
it just surprises you. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, gotcha.
I like a
It's
slow burn.
Yeah.
like that good slow burn. Like I haven't watched The Witch or Hereditary yet, so like those are on the
Heard
list. Like
those are cool.
Midsommar is up there. Like the kind of like the slow burn movies. Because I'm like I said, like Jar, like I've been like I get freaked out by. I have definitely been on Newgrounds and found the wrong videos. Probably not that's in the same way that he's talking about, but I've definitely found the wrong videos.
We all have a Newgrounds wrong video.
We definitely some of us have several, but but like listening to those podcasts sort of helped me get that perspective to be able to look at and say like, all right, like this is freaky, but also like there is something beyond just the freakiness usually, and it's like a good horror movie also has something to say like, oh well, this actually like another podcast I think everybody listens to, and this is the podcast where I now recommend podcasts, but like Be Good and Rewatch, the Waypoint Radio podcast did the Purge series. And it's got like a lot of themes like anti-corporatism and anti-capitalism that I probably wouldn't have picked up on if I had just been like, yo, movies freak, like scary movies. No.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of like gems like that I'm trying to discover. So that's been like a thing for me, like both in quarantine, but also like in general of like really cracking open this whole genre that is like, very, very gay. There's a whole subgenre of lesbian vampire movies, and it's hot as shit actually.
What
I feel like I could
what I
yell
would actually
endlessly
recommend.
About, I feel like I could
Oh, go
yell
for it.
endlessly about how the Purge went from like a couple of these standalone like horror movies, and now like a lot of the anti-corporate themes. Now it's a fucking franchise coming out with a bunch of like side movies. So now
But
it's
there's
like
a
the
TV
exact-
series too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's like all
Wild.
this. Now it's got all this corporate behind it, and the whole premise of it is anti-corporate messaging. It's like, oh, I guess that's what happens when Blumhouse sells out.
I guess.
Yeah, if you want to be an artist in capitalism, you have to be a artist, full stop, no holds bars, cutthroat, and it turns into that.
Yeah.
Which is
What I was
why
going to say before is that if you actually want to watch something that is more of a slow burn, and I think more importantly is something where it's a very good movie first before before anything else. Go and rewatch or watch for the first time The Exorcist. It's an incredibly good movie. It's a very good slow burn, and the themes of I may have to come to terms with killing my own child is like something that just constantly grows over time, and the idea of almost the main character being like, well, you know, am I going crazy, or is, you know, it's very good, incredibly good movie.
Lamo, hold up though. It does have like the original screamer though, in the one scene where it's got like the one frame. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? There's like
that
one
fucking
like
picture is used for every goddamn screamer back in the day. Blow out your fucking speakers.
I've never actually seen The Exorcist. Now that I think about it,
Oh damn!
like
it's good.
I'm like a baby when it comes to scary movies. Like I remember watching, I think it was like the original Poltergeist at a sleepover at one point, and like I didn't sleep. I was terrified of that movie. Like I just watched a man vomit out his skeleton, and that was creepy. I read.
Whoa,
the back.
hold on, what? Hold up, that happens? That's a thing?
Am I thinking? I thought it was Poltergeist. I might be wrong.
I've never seen Poltergeist, but I'm here for people throwing up their own skeletons. We've all
was
been
fucked up.
there after like Saturday night at a tournament. We've all wanted to vomit up our own skeletons.
Oh my
Well, this guy actually does it. He hits that whole case of Rolling Rock.
Damn, someone had to get in the fucking Pedialyte.
The Pedialyte MVP
It's
of
real.
tournaments. Like when you find a friend who walks around, like I've been that person because I am perpetually a mom. I am a mom with no children, except for my children. And I'll like when I go to like CVS buy Pedialyte, I'll buy like an extra one, and I'll just like have it in my backpack. And when I see a friend who I see is like gonna have a bad time tomorrow, I'm just like, hey, here's some Pedialyte. Drink some of this. You're gonna need it.
Drink from the Estes
you are
flask.
insane. Yes.
I try to be just walk up, good journey, struggler.
That's me like backdashing and drinking. Even though I guess you'd really only backdash and do the whatever the blood vial is, because that's a Bloodborne thing.
Yeah, and Bloodborne. Bloodborne, the game is so sick. But yeah,
Where
that's
did they
kind of like
put
where.
Bloodborne on PC? Sorry, I want to play some
I
fucking
want that so
Bloodborne.
bad. I want that so bad. I need it in like not like 30 frames per second. Sometimes
Yes.
15 frames per second.
Maybe that's what I'll do, because I have this like extended work trip coming up now, and I'm like, maybe I'll just take my PlayStation 4 and I'll just like play the Bloodborne DLC, because I never finished it.
Not a bad idea. Oh yeah. Oh, that's gonna be fucking
yeah,
hard
Shit's
though.
hard.
Are you-
Yeah.
That's why I
Are
haven't finished
you
it. It's
on
hard.
like? Are you on like New
Wait, are
Game
you on
Plus?
New Game
or are you on,
Plus?
like,
I'm
are
only
you,
on
are you
New
on like
Game.
first run through?
I first run through. I started a new game just for it.
Okay. Good.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, good call.
I got the cool like what is like the beast whip or something, where it's like a sword but also a whip, and it's like chunky as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Is it that's a threaded cane or?
No, it's like
It's a different one. I can't remember.
It's
I
a
think
DLC
it's a
weapon.
DLC weapon. Yeah.
yeah, it's one of
Okay,
the. It's
so
like one of the you get in the first area in the DLC. DLC's hard though.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah, it
remember
is.
that thing
I'm
now.
still stuck
Oh my
on the
God.
last boss of the DLC, and I've been stuck on it for like a fucking year. And like every couple months, I just like pick it back up. I'm like, all right, today's gonna be the day I fucking beat Orphan of Kos. No, it's not. It's not that
No.
day. Not that month. Not
No.
this year.
Didn't David beat Orphan of Kos recently? Like, was that a
I don't
thing that
know.
happened?
He's got to come
I-
on the
I-
podcast and say it,
I-
otherwise
I-
it never happens.
I choose to believe that our Swagger CEO has killed the Orphan of Kos.
I believe it. I mean,
Yeah.
I know he puts in the hours. He puts in the work in Bloodborne.
Damn.
He has been putting in the work in Bloodborne. He has been posting up. I think prior to his departure from the bird site, he had like the share up on there too.
Oh, he did. Yeah. Oh man, we gotta get David on this podcast at some point.
Yeah,
gotta
even
get
if
the
you
true
just like
stories.
yell in through like Discord call and just pipe him in.
Just yell him in,
Fix it.
just like, oh, what the? Yeah.
If
Talk
only
to
he had
ask
to,
him
like,
about
drive
Bloodborne
somewhere.
and swords. That's what I want to know about. Tell me about your sword collection right now.
What happened to the Maul
just Tell me about your best. Yeah, what happened to the Maul Katana? Tell me about your best can opener sword right now.
Oh. What's up, David? I know you're listening to this.
Oh, all right, Jarv.
We love you, boss.
Love you, boss. Jarv,
We
what's
love
going
you,
on?
boss. Alrighty, well, this whole time we've been playing, I've just been paying attention to my iPad. I've been addicted to Arknights. It's this mobile gacha game, gachapon. I guess it's Chinese, actually. It's a ground-based, like you have like a
It
bunch
has
of units on a
footsies?
grid. What's up? Yeah, it's
It has
footsies.
footsies?
Yeah.
We really do have footsies though with the guard units. It's just like a tower defense game, but it's got really cute character design, like pseudo furries.
It's not
Really okay, yeah, not pseudo at all. Trying to cover for myself, but no, cat's out of the bag. It's got like cute furry design, really fun gameplay with like using all your skills and creating the coolest team, and a really neat backstory. It's sort of like this weird Death Stranding-ish. Everyone's got some sort of weird. Well, I guess we're kind of in a pandemic right now, but there is sort of a pandemic in that game. Kind of bad taste, Arknights. But there's a summer event that I've been grinding through. But the real thing I want to talk about is I got a Cobalt Flux DDR pad, and I cannot wait to play it. I am waiting on one last thing for it. I had to buy a couple things for it. Cobalt Flux made these really great at-home like metal DDR pads. Much nicer than the crappy little vinyl ones that they try to sell you for PS2 with like DDR Max and stuff like that. I used to take those and try to like staple them to like a piece of cardboard, or not cardboard, staple them to a piece of like MDF, and then wrap some vinyl chair like floor covering over it, like, you know, carpet runner kind of thing, to try to make it a little more stable. This thing's way better than that. But it needed two things. It needed a component cable box, something to convert from PS2 to the computer. And the other thing is I need a rug pad or something, because it's got some sort of like really awful abrasive floor, like, you know, bottom of it, and it would just scratch up my shit. It also wouldn't like stay in one place. That would be pretty bad too. But once the rug pad gets here, I've been trying to get all my Stepmania stuff together, and I want to start playing DDR like a little bit every day, because, man, I love that game. I love dancing. I love
Yeah.
playing DDR. It's super cool, and I know I've been playing it for like a long time. Like grew up playing it. There was a couple arcades in my town that had it, and so when Extreme came out and like whenever the hell, we definitely had it in like 2003 or 2 or something like that, and we were dancing all the time. What y'all been playing on DDR? Any of you ever play DDR or PIU growing up, or currently if y'all have like a round 1 or something nearby?
I definitely
Nobody's
have.
been playing DDR around 1 currently, but yeah.
No, not now.
No, but
Do not go play right now.
I had one of those vinyl pads you were talking about, and it did kind of suck actually.
It
So
was
it's kinda,
not so great.
Like it's like I'm getting the flashbacks of like trying to play, but also trying to like desperately keep it from moving. So it's like I don't want to slip and fall. That would suck. But yeah,
Oh, someone online sold like a better, thicker vinyl one that you could like unzip and put this little foam thing in. And my friends and I copped that shit. And we were mad into Stepmania, mad into like the Xbox and PlayStation 2 versions of DDR, and it was wild. We burned through those things a lot though, because they secretly were like not very good.
Yeah,
they were only
it's-
like a step up from the vinyl ones.
it was fun, but like a couple of my friends did exactly what you said. Where like they took like nails and like nailed it to a piece of wood or something, like trying to make it just like a little bit more stable, like a little bit more fun. But like I kind of miss it. I miss the exercise component of it, and
Agreed.
I regret not getting Ring Fit Adventure when it was in stock in places.
Oh, that's so much fun. I love that game. I have that game. I ended up pre-ordering that game or something because as soon as it came out, I was like, this game looks like it owns. It looks like they took what they learned from Wii Fit and like Wii Fit Island or whatever the hell, and Wii
Mhm.
Island Resort.
Oh yeah,
and,
Wii Fit Resort or some whatever.
Yeah,
shit
Wii
it
Fit
was.
Island Resort, and like turned it into like a game, and like they did. It's real fucking fun. I haven't
It's
played that
great.
much of it compared to everyone else. It's got like a level-based progression system. The game is so deep. At level 40, you get a skill tree. Like the
I haven't
game
gotten
just
there yet.
keeps
That's
going.
fucking wild. I need to play it more. They also
Same.
they added a rhythm game mode to it too, like last month I want to say,
Yes. Oh,
which
I
is
wanna
kind of
try
wild.
Yes.
It's fun and it's like because I really like rhythm games. I'm like okay, I can pump up the difficulty way up on this, and like I'm doing it, but I'm like I'm fucking dead after like 2 songs. I'm like I'm just like all right, I need to go take a shower now. Just from fucking doing 2 songs, but God, that game is so fucking good. I'm gonna go play that once we're done recording, because I need to
Wow,
keep
dang.
my ass fucking active.
Hell yeah. I definitely got to check out the new mode. I was saying the other day that like whenever they announced that or maybe like the Super Mario World Maker, like the new World Maker thing for Super Mario Maker 2, it's like sometimes
Mhm.
you don't buy a Nintendo game and like all of a sudden like the stonks value just like increases after 2 years because like they randomly drop a patch and you're like, oh shit, no, now I need that game. And I think they bank on that. I
Yeah,
think they secretly know that.
I'm getting there with Ring Fit now. Like I didn't even know there was that like a rhythm game component to it. And I'm just like, damn, how did I miss that?
Oh, there's like the Mario Odyssey theme and like a couple other things I saw on there, but I haven't played it myself. But it seems like they got a lot of cool music on it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even beyond that, just like especially now with all the gyms closed, it's like I'd love to have like a more guided exercise than just like I've got my ab roller and my Pilates ring and I can do yoga on YouTube. Like something that's
yeah,
like
I feel you there.
another level of like goal setting or direction that isn't just like I'm just doing this stuff now.
A little more
Yeah.
dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you there. I've been going through my like push-pull leg split through like a couple videos that I saw online, and I saw a couple more videos on like more like at-home exercises that like actually have transferable gym experience. You know, like you could do a whole bunch of like, you know, bicep curls. That's great, or whatever. But like that's not gonna help you deadlift. If you want to go back and like still have a great deadlift, there's like some scapular strength things you can do, straight arm scapular pullovers with bands and this and that. And so I've got a band set. I've got a pull-up bar, and I've been doing mad pull-ups when I can. I got like a band on it, so that way I can actually do it because I'm too weak and still a little too heavy to really do them myself. But it's been nice keeping up with physical exercise while quarantined and trying to take a walk every day, trying to like
Yeah.
go outside with my mask. But like, you know, my neighborhood isn't like super populated. We all like get out of the way for each other. The other day we were walking and I saw like a quarantined couple of neighbors like all like sitting out with like a
Oh,
beer.
yeah.
it was too much. They all had their little lawn chairs and everything with their beers, and it was too much. But yeah, my
got those
DDR
over
pad
there.
should be a good time, but I don't have it to play with it yet because I don't have my rug pad. So I figure in a couple weeks I'll jump back on and I'll let y'all know how good I've been doing. Share my triple A's.
Hell
Do
yeah.
my marvelous attack.
First we dance, and then we do the revolution.
Agreed.
The Dance Dance Revolution will not be televised. That's so fucking dumb. I hate myself for that one.
Spectre has been
Edit,
bumping
edit
up
that
on-
out. Cut that shit out.
No.
I
Morgan.
laughed. It was funny.
Future
Hold that
Morgan.
shit.
This is
Hold that
Lamo
shit.
talking to you from the podcast. Oh, oops. I'm looking at my levels. I shouldn't have done that. Sorry.
Hold that shit, lame-o.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. God damn it.
Yeah.
Who knew that my
Sorry.
worst enemy was myself? I did. I knew that
Everyone
shit
else
for
on
a
this
long time.
podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Snooze. What's going on?
Hello.
Hey.
I don't know. I had a boring week. It's getting warm out now. I'm not into it.
Wait, what?
What?
It's getting warm out. Like it's bad.
Why didn't you move to
Fuck
California?
summer.
Just like,
That's valid. That's a valid question.
I mean,
And-
it's so. LA is actually a Mediterranean climate, apparently. But actually, where I live, it's not that bad. Like, it only ever gets. I think last summer when I first moved here, the hottest it got was like 90 or so a couple days.
oh, that's nice.
Because I live like really pretty close to the ocean, in a cheap neighborhood that I found, but it's not really inland. So like downtown LA will be like 10 degrees warmer typically. So I don't know, like
Oh, wow.
last week or a couple weeks ago, if you follow people who live in the LA area, you may have seen a lot of people complaining that it was like 99 degrees and stuff. Like I think it was like 2 weeks ago, but it was like 80 here. Like it's fine.
Damn.
But I really like it when it's 60. It's can wear a hoodie.
Same.
That's valid. We got up to like 75 last weekend, and I took my hammock and I set it up outside, and I was like, "This is great."
But I don't know. I've had a boring media week. The only thing I have been doing is I tried to start playing Fallout New Vegas again because I got really far in that game, but I never beat it because I was playing it on console, and like most modern Bethesda games I've played, it kind of like poops itself eventually.
Uh-oh.
So I was just really frustrated with it and put it away. But now I can play it on PC.
Yeah.
So I did the thing where you download all the mods, and it was a struggle. But I'm playing a very hard version of that game now.
Nice.
I really wanted to replay it. I feel like I might have already talked about this. I hope I'm not repeating myself. But since I moved, I drove to LA. Like I drove by a bunch of the stuff that's like in that game. Because it goes right down, I want to say I-15 is the road. And like that's where like Vegas and Prim and like Good Springs and like a bunch of stuff from that video game is. And it was kind of funny when I was driving by because like Prim, if you've played that, it has like this big roller coaster. And when I originally played it, I was just like, what the fuck is this roller coaster? Like, who would build that? That's so stupid. And then I drove by on my way to my new house, and I was like, that's a roller coaster built around a whole town. That's they really made that, huh? Okay. So that exists. But other than that, I've just been working on I'm still working on Star Trek myself, the original series though. Getting close to the end of that. It's still it sure is Star Trek. It's I think I've definitely seen it, but I've never just sat down and watched the whole thing before. So I've kind of watched them in like kind of just a random order. But I don't know. It's a weird show. I'm just going to go back to Deep Space Nine. I'm very excited for you to finish Deep Space Nine so I can talk about how fucking great that show is.
It's like I saw one. So at first I was like, I'm lukewarm, and then I found out that I realized it was very gay, and then I saw a post on Twitter that there's a union eventually, and I was like, wait, it's gay and there's labor politics? Like, yo,
Damn.
in space?
Yeah, the first season is kind of bad, but I mean, it's not the worst. It's
Like-
definitely the best first Star Trek season, I would say.
I get it. Like, there's a lot of build-up that has to happen, and like characters
Yeah.
and world and stuff. But like, I'm really excited to get further along in Deep Space Nine.
I guess like the original series first season is like that one's kind of weird because it's, I don't know, it's like the first one, it's really long. It's just like really hit and miss though. And then like the first TNG season is just like straight up bad, like really bad.
Yeah. Well,
I've tried to go through some of that, and it almost turned me off from the whole series.
that
I mean, I guess it
that-
kind of
that first episode with Q is pretty-
But
it's all right.
I mean, there's like one
I
or two
really
okay
like Q.
episodes.
I'm always down for a Q episode.
There's a few okay episodes in the first season, but a lot of them are recycled scripts from the original series that they just never made. And it does this, it's kind of like Monster of the Week, but like in the dumbest way where literally every monster is like a god. Like the first episode, they run into some space amoeba that can just like do whatever it wants. Like it has like literally like god powers. And then there's some
Yeah.
other guy who lives on some planet somewhere who's like, oh yeah, they killed my wife, so I made them disappear. And like he's not kidding. Like he literally like he like deleted them because he can just do that with his brain or whatever. And the first season just does that a lot. It's like every episode. It's really boring.
That
Except
sounds
Q, like
bad.
Q is cool, and that's why he came back, and the rest of them didn't. But it is
Yeah.
like, it's like a crutch they fall back on a lot.
That does
That
kind of
kind
Uh,
of makes this one episode of Futurama a little funnier. There's like a episode of Futurama where like some of the original series cast is like abducted by some like super fan and like tries to like make them do whatever they want. It definitely seems like some like Monster of the Week like bad like the original series kind of like crappy like throwaway campy episode. But
That
also
does sound
Futurama.
like an actual Star Trek episode.
It's also
Um,
the thing that episode of Futurama is what got me interested in Star Trek.
very nice.
Yeah,
But
because-
DS9 kind of subverts that actually,
it's
That's
like
really
because
good.
its plot
That's a good
begins
show.
with like here are the god aliens, but then they're like they're not actually god aliens.
That first episode
Uh,
of Deep Space Nine with
it's
like
kinda
the
backwards.
orbs that don't exist in linear time, and Cisco's trying to explain to them like what the past is, was like
Yeah.
really high concept sci-fi, at least like by my standard high concept, and I loved it. And I was watching it like this is really good, and then the next episode was not that.
Oh no.
Oh, I was gonna say like I
Yeah.
disagree with skipping episodes. Highly disagree with skipping episodes.
Oof.
Do not. You should go back and watch those because it's a show that does stuff where like, even though the first season, I mean, like it does have its rough spots, but like it's a show where that stuff kind of comes back. Where there'll be just like a random character who's in like a couple episodes or something at first, you know, but eventually like they build, and if you don't watch like some of those bad episodes, you like kind of miss some of their introduction and stuff.
I see.
Hmm.
All right.
I mean, maybe there's some like super smart way to watch that avoids all that. Like that's entirely possible, but it is a show where like old shit comes back, and like
Oh,
previous
okay,
seasons
okay.
really do matter. And I think like a lot of things build that you may miss. Like it's still gonna be good, but like you just may miss little things if you skip episodes. And also like it's not that much really. Like if you skip 2 or 3 episodes a season, like how much you really like you could have just watched those, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if I can find time for 148 episodes of Hunter x Hunter, I can find time for Deep Space Nine. I miss Hunter x Hunter. It was a really
It's a
good
good
show.
show.
Such a good show. Also got
that-
really gay at the end, but like, yeah, that's another podcast episode.
That has been
that's
my
another
boring
story.
week.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's for the anime a spin-off podcast we're launching.
Good lord. There's too many. That's okay. I'm going to be talking about anime later on anyway. Valius, though, what have you been up to, man?
CVS2 mostly.
Yeah?
Ooh.
I decided
Return
to
of the
go ahead and-
Millennium.
So what kind of got you to go back into CVS2 all of a sudden?
So I was playing Grand Blue last week, and I was playing online, and I was kind of having the worst time of my life playing it online, and I got very sick of ArcSys delay-based netcode, and got really frustrated.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know
Okay.
what, fuck it. I'm just going to go play a game that I haven't played in a very long time and actually see if it was like, if it's as good as I remember it being, because The last time I played it was on a GameCube in like, I don't even remember, 2004, 2005. So
That sounds right.
Sounds about right.
yeah. So I said, fuck it. Got Dolphin and started just. Well, first I tried out King and immediately realized this was a horrible decision because she's terrible in CVS 2.
Oh.
But instead, I started playing out with Rock and Cammy, and I was like, oh my god, everything feels so great in this game. And then like it led me on this weird. I was actually gonna write this long blog post about like comparing old school, especially like old school Capcom games would be most applicable, but comparing that to modern day incarnations of games, and then just kind of picking out like why was everything in like the late 90s and early 2000s just oozing style and fun and shit, and a lot of games in 2020 it's not oozing style, except maybe like the modern incarnation of Sam Show. That's got a hell of a lot of style. I mean, everything about it is unique, but its netcode is bad, like super bad. Its lobbies are literally broken. The only real way to play it is to play it, with other people, and we're in a quarantine, so no. So it just got me to think a lot about what it was that I really wanted out of games, like mostly with fighting games, but just in general, like what is it about these old school style things that are more appealing to me? I even tweeted about it earlier, is that the only two games that I really give a shit right now about are Third Strike and now CVS 2. And, reliving this old arcade experience has just kind of ignited this whole process, and now I can't shut the fuck up.
Oh, no, you're fine. That happens when you play Third Strike. I vibe with that really hard because I've also been really frustrated with Grand Blue net play and like Arc Sys delay based net play. But like that last bit, like I feel that like they had the Third Strike head to head cabs at Magfest, and
it's so
like
good.
when you red parry out of a Yuri and unblockable, but lose anyway because you were too fixated on how nice you were.
Yo, that's
it hits
a
different
fucking
offline.
mood.
It just got me thinking so much, especially with how like the Grand Blue patch, like the balance patch that came out was not like an awful patch or anything.
I think it sucked.
Oh, it does suck. I don't like it, but it's not like the worst patch in the world, but it removed the fun part of Grand Blue for me was the jank, and they basically cut all of the jank out of Grand Blue. So now it's not as fun to play. Like it might have actually like balanced most of the characters, but now it feels so much more boring to me anyway.
Yeah, they took they improved the base dish, but I was here for the sauce.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too.
If that makes sense.
I thought it was a pretty okay patch.
It's fine. Like
I think Catalina players probably are not very
Fuck
happy
you.
with this patch. I think Catalina players are probably not very happy with this patch.
Like,
I think most everyone else is like, this is a pretty okay
Fuck
patch.
you.
I'll be the one to say it.
Yeah, I don't really need to block 30 close 5Bs that
Yes, you
I
do.
eat
Fuck
75%.
I was gonna ask you, Velas, who do you main in Grand Blue, or who were you maining in Grand Blue?
Well, I play both Cat and Met, and
Yep, there it
the
is.
thing is that like.
Well, did
Like,
Terra
I
get
don't-
new things?
I don't think that Cat was jank. I think she was hyper bullshit.
No, she wasn't. She was fine.
She was privileged in ways that lots
Like,
of characters could not
she
be.
she would put a button out, and I would go, I'm a whiff punish, miss, and then I would push my button, and then I would get hit anyway, even though her button was already out.
Yeah, you deserve
That's fucked up.
Mad
That's not
active
okay.
frames.
Hold that shit. You play Percival. What the fuck?
Percival's buttons aren't that good.
Percival is like the counter whiff like character, and getting owned by like
Yeah, that-
green Catalina frames is pretty wild.
That last time we played, you literally put out a 5C, and I was, well, I'm a 5C that shit myself. I pushed 5C, and I got hit.
She had some fucking like
Yeah.
super turbo like jumping
That's
light
fine.
kick ass like frame data where it's like, oh, I pressed it, so now it's out the entire time and it's active the entire time until it isn't,
Some jump
and then I'm
jab.
safe. Yeah.
Go hit
And
me
I
with the
was
jump
very
jab.
sad about that 5C.
And that's good.
but,
It's good game design when it benefits me.
No, it's not.
But Lemo,
This
I
is
also
this
play.
is some fucking like I don't see what's wrong with Elfelt in Guilty Gear.
I also played Elfelt and Guilty Gear. I don't see what's wrong with her.
Motherfucker!
She made me a lot of money, actually.
I bet she did. I
She
bet
made me
Elfelt
$100.
made a lot of money.
Ooh.
But I also play Jita, if it makes you feel any better. So
That's,
oh, Jada,
that's not.
cool.
I don't know shit about
It is
Jita.
great.
I can't hate.
Jita's hilarious. She's a KOF character.
she is. That's one of the reasons why I like her. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, I feel like I'm playing KOF 14 right now. It's great. I love it.
Basically.
Yeah.
But
She got good
correction,
ass cross-ups.
correction, correction. Just I can't let this point stand. Lamo. I won that money for Elfelt.
Oh, I love it. I was waiting because you said like, hold on a second. I'm like, oh, it's about to happen.
What do you think I was gonna come in here and be like, oh, this like bust ass motherfucking Leo player gonna come up and tell me that like my character
She
played
doesn't even have a
myself? Like, what the
6p
fuck?
anti-air. How is she?
Bust ass.
Look,
Oh, don't go bust ass on me now.
Hell, Leo barely has a fucking 6p anti-air. Rest in
That's
peace.
the-
Rev 1
rest
6p.
Rest in peace. That's the gonna be the episode title. Rest in bust ass.
Rest in bust.
Rest in bust ass.
Oh, fuck.
it's like,
I love it.
Anyway.
I thought so much about
Rest
like
in bust ass.
I just thought so much about how like first off, it's not that I really disagree with the patch per se. It's just that like it removes so much
Mhm.
of what was fun about the game for me. And then
Yeah.
That's a valid reason to like drift away from a game.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like-
on top
To
of
like
the
see what they're
going
gonna
to
do with it later and look at something else. Yeah.
Like
They're not doing you any favors there.
no, like
Yeah.
going
I think
online
it's gonna be delay based.
and going online facing anyone that I like don't know that I have a good connection with is just awful. It's like at least 5 frame delay all the time and it's unbearable.
And they took away the little like they were shitty and they lied and like BB tag and everything with the like 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar things in Grand Blue. So like I don't know. I'm sitting down with somebody and then we go in. It's like, yo, here's 7 frame delay, and you gotta play this game before you can go back to the lobby and be like, well, look, great, this sucks.
I'm like literally, I think, 8 miles away from Doom, and the game tells us that we have a 0 bar connection every time.
Jesus Christ.
It's 1 frame delay. Our connection is perfect, but the game has no idea what it's doing.
I know it lies, but yeah, I don't know, I like the security of like generally, at least when it says 4, I can usually hope that like that's a good connection, and like 0 is the wild card where sometimes it's the best connection ever. But like having like some kind of idea of like, hey, this person lives across the country from you, would be nice.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, I've been playing Grand Blue Steam, and when I play Snooze, from Florida to LA, it's like 3 frame. I feel like it's pretty okay. Like the something about the Steam version that feels alright. So Val, we gotta like fundraise and get you the PC. Get you
Well,
the
it
Steam
has
version.
lower input lag, just like every other Arc Sys game on PC,
That's probably
right?
big.
Yeah, that's true
Yeah.
too. So like the whole thing is like inherently like a less laggy experience.
Yeah.
We do like real whiff punishes and shit. On,
Yeah,
on
it's just
Steam.
like a weird connection thing. Like, I know Mike Z had a post recently about like network speed, and I
I'm sure
wish
Mike
like
Z
people.
had a post.
Well, in this case, he actually had a good point.
Leave
And
Mike
I
Z
wish
out
more
of
people
it.
would just
He's
like pay
actually a
attention
cool
to how the
dude.
goddamn internet works. Because you always have people like, "No, dog, my connection's straight. Like it's good."
Yeah, I'm right next to the router.
It's right next to the router.
I mean,
Yo.
you've seen when we've been playing various games online, like Doom will play somebody from Florida, and they both just have this like unplayable, choppy, teleporty connection, and then I'll play the same person, and like I said, I'm further and Doom has FiOS, and I just have regular cable. So I'm further away. I have slower internet, and my connection with people in Florida, like the same people, has been perfect. So it's just like weird internet routing and bad netcode.
It's really strange.
The bad
Like,
net code doesn't do anyone any favors.
It's a real
No.
bummer because we're also living in this weird era of COVID where it's like it's all online events.
Mhm.
And there was like, did y'all see the one post where like two guys, they play, they both swear this connection is bad, my opponent has got to be on Wi-Fi. And so the TO's like, the only way I can resolve this is like, y'all got to like send me a picture of your Ethernet connection or something so I know which one of y'all is on Wi-Fi so I can DQ you because it's a wired event only. And then after like 5 minutes, they both admit like, actually, I'm on Wi-Fi, but like my Wi-Fi is real good.
I put it right next to the router.
Yeah, it's like right next to the router.
Next to the router. Jeez,
Lord.
it's right next to my repeater. I bought a repeater just for it.
Man,
My
we used
router's
to
out
play
in the
this-
garage.
we used to play this dude in 3SO a lot. I think he was living in New Mexico. And every time I would play that guy, I'd be like, just like, your connection is just straight. He played Dudley, too. And, like, your connection
Dudley
is straight up
players.
bad.
SMH,
This is like
SMH my
Martian
head.
Dudley. Like your jumping might as well be like Slayer teleport dash. Like, it's fucking impossible. And this dude swore up and down for like probably a full year we played regularly. Like, I don't know, like, it's just Comcast, bro. Like, I got my shit wired. Like, Comcast just, they're, making my connection bad. Comcast. And then, like, he dropped off for a little while or something. He came back one day back into the stream and we were talking. And it turned out that entire time, he did have a wire plugged into his modem, or into his console, rather. But what he had was a wire that plugged into his console, and that went to a fucking wireless repeater that was then wirelessly connected to his router.
Oh, that's not how the internet works.
I
What a
died when I
motherfucker.
found out that, like a full year later or so. Like,
Oh,
Lord.
Dudley players.
Can I admit something? I have this like new mesh router, and technically that's what my PlayStation 4 is plugged into right now.
Jar.
No one net play jar.
No, don't. My PS4 right now is not for net play. I started up Nier Automata, and it's just sitting on my new TV, and I'm gonna go play Nier and Dragon's Crown Pro and shit like that. And so it's not for like net play right now.
Uh-huh.
Wait. Go back. There's something. But do you know about Dragon's Crown?
Oh yeah, I
Yo,
bought Dragon's
Dragon's
Crown Pro.
Oh,
It was
that
like
game is
$7 on PSN during like the big in Japan sale, and it was like $7. Yes, I will play that, and I downloaded my old save. I have like 137 hours on.
Good fucking Lord. Holy shit.
I put some time into that game.
It's a good game.
I'm sure people got like 999 and they were like, "Fuck you, Jarv." And, like, whatever, man. I played that game. I like my game. I played Dwarf.
I played Sorceress.
Dwarf got to pick people up. Oh, Sorceress is real good.
Oh, it was real good. Real good.
She
A lot of fun.
keep everyone alive.
It good.
Is that why you play Charlotta?
With Dwarf.
Do you
yeah.
have a thing about dwarfs?
Yeah, give the Dwarf the fucking demon flip, and we're in there. Do the demon flip grab, and then throw him across the screen into a boulder.
For fucking real, if I ever get back into Grand Blue, I'm just gonna fucking pick up Charlotta. She seems fun
you
as
should.
shit.
She's
Get the
super
Mighty
good.
Kids
She's
meal.
super fun. You just gotta learn how to condition your opponent and play with the parry that she has. Like that's like the next
Fuck, she's
level
a
after
parry.
you get like the basics. Oh yeah. Her
right.
unique button is parry, and it's got a pretty decent box that she'll grab and then do like a 1500 damage attack where she knocks you down. It's really good. Like instead of just like a straight parry, it's like no. It's pretty much that, except you slash through them.
Hell yeah.
It's more like a what's that, like a reversal? And like Tekken and shit like
You're
that.
doing all these arm moves? I have no clue.
I
What
believe
game
that
is
is
that?
a reversal in Tekken, yes.
Okay, thank you, Suits.
I think
I
my
think we've all established
I just-
Jarvis a Mishima.
I
He's
just
doing
really
Tai
wish that,
Bo
like-
over here.
but I
My
just
man
really wish
Billy
that, like-
Banks over here fucking trying to tell me about demon flips. he out here doing the 1-1-2.
We even.
I just really wish that
I
like
can't handle.
I just really wish that I didn't have to be like I hope that season 2 DLC comes out and like reshapes the game in a way that I like. Like it's just not a good feeling, so I don't play it. You know, it's just
Yeah.
When that feeling hit, I was just like, I think it's time to pack up shop and play stuff I'm actually interested in playing again. So
Yeah.
You have the game. If they patch it again and it gets better, then you can always get back to it.
it's true.
Yeah, I still think it's fun. I'm excited for season 2, but that's because like I'm kind of like Jarvis talking about Arknights. Like I am a big Granblue Lord, so
I know who you want. I know who you want.
Who do I want, Jarv?
You
Who do I want,
Vera-
Jarv? I want Vera
I
so
hope-
bad.
I hope
Vera's
the
not in, we
characters in the
riot.
game
I
with
want
cooler
Vera
designs.
too. Honestly,
Oh.
I straight up want Vera in this game too because the Catalina versus Vera theme will be the
It will
biggest
be
banger on
it
the
will be a
fucking
banger.
planet.
So like my dream, Catalina versus Vera theme, banger of the century. But on top of that, I want Vera to be like super composed and like cordial with people. But then when she fights Catalina, she has like the mask off voice
Yeah,
lines.
Oh damn.
Like the manic Vera or whatever.
Like the manic Vera, where she's just like Asami Imai going like mad ham. But also like based on like how she was in the anime and also like how she's in the mobile game, like I want her to be the hover dash character, where she has like an Izayoe like mode change where she gets a hover dash. Like that could be super cool. It's an archetype that doesn't exist in the game right now, but it's really prevalent in Arxis stuff. Like, oh, that'd be fun.
Well, it's an archetype that doesn't exist in the game because they've kind of gone and said that this game's like their Street Fighter 2 kind of game.
Okay,
So
Street
if they
Fighter
can
2
do
is
it
not
in-
a fair game. We've been over
You
this.
know, we have been over this, and if they can just make her Dhalsim with like the instant drill into Yoga Noogie, then I think we're talking.
Just
That's
play
already
Fairy,
Fairy.
bro.
Like Fairy already has instant drill to Yoga Noogie. But like for real, I'm super excited about DLC because I like the characters so much, and also like character themes. Like it seems like because he is so popular, like Sandalphon is like sure bet, and Paradise Lost is a banger of a song from the What Makes the Sky Blue series events. Like I want that to be because like a lot of Arxis games have had like a song that's like this is grand finals of the tournament. For like BlazBlue, it was 6 heroes, and it was like grand finals. We're gonna pick 6 heroes, and like I think Paradise Lost could be that song because like you get in there. Let's imagine you're in the Evo arena. You're sitting there. It's like it's hype as shit. Everyone's really excited to watch some good ass Granblue, and all of a sudden you just hear like, "What is like it is what it is," and then it just starts with Paradise Lost, and you're just like, "Yes, it is what it is."
That would be so good.
Oh, it'd be so sick. Or
I
because
hope they put
Belial's
some,
already in the
like-
game, Paradise Lost, where he just talks about how hot he is.
I hope they put some cooler character designs in that game. Like, I'm enjoying the game and everything, but I look up like cards of Granblue characters, and there's a bunch of like sick art for it, but half the characters in the game are just like dude in plate mail, girl in plate mail, girl in plate mail, dude in plate mail. Like I'm not in love with the character designs that are actually in the game for the most part. Some of them are cool.
Give us the Birdman.
Oh, Nasuafali?
Yeah.
Oh, Birdman. I was kind of
Like a
bummed when I
legit
saw that Zeta had the Valkenheim, or she had the Taliban dashes, because like, no, that should be Birdman's thing.
Well, there's still a lot of potential for the game, so we'll see what they do with it. Because it's still fun for me, but if I don't have like friends playing it, I'm not playing it unless I get
That's
just
true.
that bored. Just need to
Yeah,
have that
I'm-
reliable connection.
I just want to see it. I just want to see what to do, where the game goes, because like the mobile game has so much potential as a franchise.
It really does.
So like, just give me Vera. Just take everything from Catalina, but just give me Vera. I'll be happy. Give me one of the other like 5 lesbians you can add to this game.
Yeah, there are many.
There's a lot actually.
I'm waiting for Beatrix since Zeta's in.
Oh, Beatrix. I mean, she has a reference color to Beatrix. I'd be sick if she
yeah.
actually got it. We talk about this for hours though. Of just
Yeah.
like, oh, but what about this character? But this character,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
We'll have to
They
They
have
got
enough.
yeah.
It can go on forever.
devote an
I
episode
know
to that
that-
later, whenever it's closer to like season 2 actually coming out or something.
Yeah, I know there's somebody at Arxis who's working, and they're just gonna listen to this podcast and they'll be like, you know what, Morgan, I got you. And that's it's gonna be what happens because that's how podcasts work.
Yeah.
Gotta deliver ASW.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
send
just deliver
a
it.
send a cassette tape to Arxis headquarters with just this episode on it. They'll definitely listen to it.
I mean, I feel like
If they
There's
can
something-
get to this point,
there's an ominous point with cassette tapes where it's just like I feel like I have to listen to this. This might be
Oh,
like
I was gonna
reality
include
game.
like a severed finger or something with it.
What? Like this is not the podcast
Oh,
we're
like
saying
you
before?
wouldn't listen to that tape if you got it and there was also a severed finger in there?
No, I wouldn't. I'd be
and
freaked
the
out
fingers
because I am a
has
scared
rollback
baby.
tattooed on it.
The finger has what?
Rollback
Rollback?
tattooed.
Yeah, it has rollback tattooed on it. It can be a fake finger. It can be like a
Okay,
prop
that's fine.
finger. Yeah.
All right.
But a real tattoo.
But
But a real tattoo, yeah. Sharpie counts as a real tattoo, by the way. Throwing that out there.
I don't think that's how it works.
It is. I'm
All right.
hosting.
It
I
does
make the
All right.
rules.
Okay, fine. I'm not gonna argue. What if I
It
just
does
edit
if
that out
you
so it
get drawn on with a Sharpie and then tattooed over it.
Ooh, there you go.
It's
You
real.
make the tattoo
Experience.
look like it's Sharpie.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't do
unless
that.
you want to.
Don't do that.
It's your skin, I guess. You can do whatever you want to it.
It's my aesthetic. No, it's not. Oh Lord.
All
Let's
right.
see.
When's the tat episode? We all got to talk about getting tatted up. If
I'm
we're not
actually-
already.
I'm probably doing that once quarantine is over. I know what
Yeah,
I
I-
want. I just don't know where I want it.
I know people like that. My wife is like that. She's like, I know I want something after all this shit. Like, just because they're opening it, I want to like support someone.
Gonna get bangs and gonna get a tattoo of lavender somewhere on my body just to be very gay.
You gotta get on like your bicep.
I thought about it. Or inner arm. Inner arm is like
Inner arm, yeah.
that's the big
Ooh.
one.
Or like, yeah.
Anyway, I haven't been up to like too much. I've been up to sadness because the CRT that I use for my Super Nintendo is acting the fuck up,
No.
and I don't know what the
no.
fuck I'm gonna do to fix it. I tried calling a repair shop earlier today, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do for it." Or rather, not even that. It's that because it's a smaller CRT, it's a 9-inch PVM. They're like, it's so small and it's so tight in there. They didn't want to take a look at it, so that fucking sucks. So for like my Kaizo stuff and my streams, I'm gonna be going back to emulator, which I'm not super happy about, especially considering it just dropped like 200 on a capture card specifically for retro games. Hey,
Hmm.
so that sucks, but
When
like
it rains,
it's.
it pours, huh?
Yeah, but whatever. Let's see. Past that, I finished watching a show, and I don't think I talked about it last week. I finished watching Too Hot to Handle. I don't think I brought this up because last week
I
I
think
was
you did.
on wild, chaotic, lame energy.
Yes,
so-
you were. And I don't think you brought this up.
Okay, Too Hot to Handle is a Netflix show, and it's the fucking trashiest shit in the world. And I love it. It's to me, it is like perfect trashy television. I've tried watching things like The Bachelor when I wanted to like really watch something trashy, but I just couldn't get into it. Too Hot to Handle is like 8 to 10 episodes, and it's just, I love how fucking dumb everyone is and how shitty everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's like two people that maybe aren't shitty at the entire cast. The idea is that, hey, you're being taken to this island resort, and it's super beautiful. Everyone who's going is just like gorgeous as shit, super hot dudes, super hot ladies. Everyone's just fucking attractive as hell. And then they're like, oh, hey, by the way, like after they're there for like about 12 hours, when people have already started like hooking up a little bit, they're like, oh, hey, by the way, here's the rules to this game that you're on. You can't have like any sexual contact with anyone. And if you do, it's pulling money out of the prize pot, which is $100,000. So every time like they kiss, like someone kisses someone else, that's $3,000 gone.
I love this. I love the shit out of this.
Yeah, and they
This
don't
is very
tell.
easy. I would win.
I would simply not smooch. But it's such good trashy TV because all these people, like, obviously they're super hot. If they don't fuck a lot, they sure talk like they fuck a lot. But this is like the idea is that, hey, we're gonna try and do workshops and things that are gonna teach you to have a more meaningful relationship with your partners and stuff like that, which is a cool idea. And just like some of the like, they're all some dumbass people. Maybe not all of them. But this one girl's like, I don't even know where the fuck Australia is at, because someone's from Australia. She's like, I don't even know where that is, and it's like, if you look at a map of the world, it's pretty easy to fucking find. It's that one big ass island out in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's Australia. But like, 'cause that same person, by the way, has a tattoo on their back, and this is when I knew that this is my favorite person on the show. So this is like maybe the first 10 minutes or so, and there's like, oh wow, like that's a really beautiful tattoo. Like, what does it say? She's like, I don't know, what language is it in? She's like, oh, I have no clue. She's like, I don't know. I just got it because I thought it looked pretty. And that reminded me of like every fucking like 30 to 40 white male who goes to a tattoo artist and is like, I want to get the Japanese word for strength on my bicep. It's the same fucking energy, I'm telling you.
It's chaotic as shit.
Oh, it's chaotic stupid. That's what it is.
Ugh.
It's chaotic stupid and chaotic horny. And the show is actually like really good. If you're down to watch something that's a little bit trashy, I definitely do recommend it on Netflix. It's a very easy show to watch, and I don't know, I did find it enjoyable. There is at least one couple on there, or two people that end up becoming a couple that actually do like, they really do seem to grow a lot, and they really do seem like they have a good foundation for a relationship. Which was actually really heartwarming to see. And there are some really good moments of like emotional growth. There's one really good moment of like early on where there's two people who are very interested in a girl, right?
Mhm.
And so the one of the guys starts talking to her later on after the first guy does, and he sees that as like, okay, I've already been talking to this girl, like and we're getting involved, like why are you trying to cut in all of a sudden? And it ends up coming into this whole conversation about emotional honesty and making yourself vulnerable in a relationship. And about how, and the one guy says, like, listen, like, if this is someone that you really have strong feelings about, and you're willing to keep making yourself emotionally vulnerable and open up, he's like, then I will back off. Because that's incredibly important to see you going through that, and that you found someone that makes you feel that way and prompts that growth in you. Right? Like, I was not expecting this shit.
Good.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. I was not expecting it at all. And I was like, holy
That sounds
shit,
kinda
okay.
deep.
Yeah,
Like
so
trashy
it's
TV. Like,
Yeah.
exactly, and that's why I've been so hooked on it, because there's a decent amount of like stupidity and like, oh lord, look at this train wreck that's coming, but then just some very good genuine moments. And it absolutely struck a balance with, like, it struck a chord with me rather, and I was super super into it. So yeah, go watch Too Hot to Handle on Netflix. There are also some fucking fantastic just screen caps you can get out of that if you have subtitles turned on.
All right.
Very entertaining
Thanks for the
show.
heads up. Thanks for the heads up on that one.
And then the other thing I've actually been watching a lot of, well, I'm actually coming back to it. It's an anime that came out like 2013, maybe even 2011. Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun, or Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, which I didn't realize it got added back to Netflix not long ago.
Yeah, it was like a week ago.
Yeah, so if you're unfamiliar with the premise of it, a girl goes to confess her feelings to a boy in her class who completely misinterprets it, and it turns out that he is a famous girls' romance writer, or mangaka, I should say. Mm-hmm. And then it devolves into their relationship, and then the people in their school, and him writing his manga, and it's such an incredibly funny series. There's an episode, 4 episodes in, probably one of my favorite episodes of any comedy anime that I can honestly remember.
What happens in episode 4? It's been a long time.
That's the one where they stay up all night playing a visual novel. And then
Yes,
they
that
decide
was
to write
amazing.
fanfic. Yes, it's very good. There's a character. I won't spoil anything, but they realize that throughout the entire game that they've been playing, the main character's best friend has been like constantly helping them out. And he's always like trying to make sure, like, keeping the main character out of trouble, and trying to here, take these movie tickets for this new movie that's coming out, and go take, the girl you want to go with. And they're like, wait a minute, why doesn't he have a happy ending? Like, we need to get him set up with, he needs to find love and happiness. And
Yeah.
it's fucking fantastic. Go watch that show. It is incredibly good.
It's It's one of my favorites. Like when I saw it back up on Netflix, I almost started watching it again.
Oh, I did,
'Cause-
and Jess had never seen it before, so I was like, okay, we're going to watch the show. Sorry, but I'm going to make you watch anime with me. It's
I
happening.
might pull that. Like we, my partner and I just finished Review Starlight, which or we're like one episode away from finishing Review Starlight, which is like my third time watching that show, and I love it. But Nozaki-kun is just like, it is so funny, and like a lot of times like the
Such a
humor
good
does get
show.
lost. And the humor gets lost in translation, like timing and everything. But it is so genuinely good, and the characters are so good. Like one of my favorite gags, like minor spoilies, is when they find out that the main guy Nozaki, like, he bases the heroine in his story off his best friend, and it's just like. And his best friend is like this dude who's like always trying really hard to be like really masculine, but it's ultimately like really like soft and like vulnerable. And then
Yeah.
he finds out that it's like he's actually the basis for the heroine in his story. It's just like it's so good.
I think my favorite character might be the prince.
The prince is definitely up there.
The prince is so
she's-
good. Oh my god,
she's
that
so
entire
good.
episode where they introduce her is so fucking good. And then just like every once in a while she shows up again, and I'm like, yes, Prince is in this episode.
I'm a big fan of. I feel like actually obligated. Let's see. What's the name of the character she voices?
I
Damn-
do not remember.
Damn it. Sorry. No, Catalina's voice actress plays a character in Nozaki-kun. She plays the basketball player.
Oh really?
Yeah. She plays it's like, and she really only has one voice that like goes through everything. She also voices Kurupika in Hunter x Hunter. And it's like
Really?
once you've like like you can't escape. Like once you recognize her voice, it's just like it's everywhere. So it's just kind of a funny thing that like I noticed, and like when I went back and I watched Nozaki-kun again, I'm like, I've heard this voice somewhere else, and it's like, oh, it's Sawashiro. Yeah.
Now I'm looking up on Wikipedia all the things that she's done.
Yeah, she voices Seo in Nozaki-kun, the like side ponytail basketball player.
She's so fucking good.
She's so fucking good.
Oh, that entire show. Oh, she also she voiced Fujiko Mine in the Lupin the Third series that was about Fujiko.
Yes, she did.
I did
Yeah,
not
you
realize that.
you cannot escape Sawashiro. It's like a running gag. It's like no matter what you're
Damn.
doing, like she's probably has some kind of role somewhere.
That's fucking cool as shit. Okay, I'm not gonna look up any more who voices who in animes because I will be here forever.
Yes, she will be.
But yeah, I really got into those two shows. Obviously, Too Hot to Handle was a few weeks ago that I started it, but again, I cannot recommend it enough. Especially, I feel like especially now that I think we're all looking for something that's a little more brainless to watch or just to enjoy. It's definitely something you can kind of turn your brain off to and just watch and eat some popcorn or something and just have a good time. And then yeah, go watch Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. It's on Netflix. You have no reason not to watch it. It's also old as shit, so you should have seen it by now. You're fucking up. I'm
It's not
disappointed in
that
you.
old, is it?
It's like
It's from like 2012.
it's It's 8 years.
2014.
Is
Oh
it?
god, that's still 6 years.
That's old as hell, man.
It's old as hell in anime years.
Anime. Yeah. I'm still sad they only got. Oh yeah, so they only do one season of the anime, but the manga's started in 2011 and it's still going on. So.
But it ends in a good spot though. Like it could end there, and I'd be like, oh, that's a story.
All I'm saying is that if people watch it and they like it and they want more of it, hey, the manga keeps going. That's all I was getting at.
All right, is this what you're gonna B-stars me again? You're gonna get me to like, binge read another like.
No, we already know Beastars is getting another season.
Well, like you also sent me a link to like, hey, you could just like read it, and then I like binge read it in 2 days.
Of course I did.
And became a furry.
I knew you enjoyed it, and what kind of friend would I be if I didn't say, hey, Morg, check this shit out. There's way more Beastars for you to check out.
You ever just like really read something and hoped it wouldn't awaken something in you?
No comment. And that's probably a
Anyway.
good spot to wrap it up for this week. Thank you all so much for tuning into the YASEcast. This was episode 7. There'll never be another episode 7 in the future, and that's kind of sad, but it's okay. We got episode 8 coming up next week. I'm Lamo. Still, I haven't changed yet. Shout outs to Jarv, Morg, Velius, and Snooze for hanging out today. Promote your Twitters, promote your blogs. What else y'all got going on? Someone go.
Dog.
Someone say shit.
DAWG.
Let me. You have to specify order when we went over this. Remember, because otherwise
Yeah.
all of us
No.
just get lost.
Oh, God. Fine. Jarv, where can the people find you?
Twitter.com/JarvDog.
Hell yeah. Morgan?
DAWG.
I said Morgan.
You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/FOG_E. My Twitch is the same. I mostly play Grand Blue. I've been playing Guilty Gear again lately, which is, an emotional roller coaster for me, but it's cool. Also, tumblr.com/selfiecharmedlife if you want to read the blog post about Bit that I made. And that's about it for me.
Velius?
Find me on Twitter /_Velius, on Twitch at /Velius VS, and then I updated my personal blog so that now the link is realbattleonfilm.wordpress.com. Got tired of Fist of
Snooze?
Justice.
Snooze, where can the people
Hello,
find you?
Yes. My Twitter account is snooze2718. Also, you can look at our website at yase.world on the internet,
Oh, good call.
where you can find a link to the Yase Twitter or the Yase Discord, if that is a thing that you wish to do.
That's
Yeah,
true,
come hang out in the Discord. It's a good ass time.
Oh, and if I ever remember, I will put a link to the podcast episodes on that website as well.
That's actually why I thought you were bringing
Yeah.
up the site in particular.
Yeah.
'Cause I
That-
thought
that
you were
is
be
why I
like,
bought-
check
brought
this
it
shit
up.
out.
And then I forgot halfway through saying it.
Like,
It happens.
fuck. And you can find me, Lamo, on Twitter at Lamo_SD. You can find me on Twitch at Lamo. Nice and simple. Usually I'm streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, playing some Mario Kaizo stuff. The week that this is coming out, I'm actually not going to be around for pretty much every day except for Friday next week. So tune in then, maybe. Who knows? I think that's it for me, and that's it for us. Thanks again for tuning in. This was episode 7, but don't worry. Episode 8's coming, and past that, we got episode 9. That's something I'm looking forward to. Go head up Yace.world, buy yourself a shirt, quit looking sloppy. Summer's around the corner. Get yourself that Yace Angel Tank. Shit's godlike. And come hang out in the Yace Discord. We're good people. Until then, I'll be seeing you.
Bye.